Another early summer morning at Mount Shasta. Early bird gets the worm, one of my favorite sayings. The day began by greeting the rising sun, and then the road carried us higher and higher to the highest point of Mount Shasta, reachable by car. Here the landscape changes. The forest begins to fall away. The horizon opens. Volcanic stones covers the earth, and the mountain feels immense beneath the endless skies. There we came to the labyrinth. Each of us entered carrying our own intentions and affirmations, walking its ancient pattern slowly toward the center and back again. There is something symbolic about the labyrinths. You walk kind of forward and you circle back. It seems like to move away from the center only to discover that you are approaching it from another direction. Perhaps much like our spiritual path itself. Labyrinths are amazing tools to reprogram our brain and create new neural pathways, to reset our life. And it's a perfect time. It was the time during the solar eclipse or eclipse corridor between solar and lunar eclipses. It's amazing time. As I say, we can change the seats in a train or can change the train fully and get into another one. And when the labyrinth was complete, an unexpected inspiration floated into my heart to create an enlightenment runic formula. There was no preparation, no plan in advance, built something like that. Just a strong impulse to bring something invisible into physical form on earth. The first stones began to be placed, and immediately my soul sisters joined in, gathering stones from around the area. One impulse became a shared creation, stone by stone, rune branch by rune branch, and rune by rune. And then another mystical participant appeared, a raven. Its voice began accompanying to the creation from above. This made the moment especially meaningful because in Norse mythology, the raven is deeply connected with Father Odin, the seeker of wisdom, and a god whose mythology is inseparable from the mystery of the runes. With each rune taking shape, raven called again and again. It felt like each rune we start, the raven gave an acknowledgement. Perhaps it was coincidence, perhaps synchronicity, or perhaps nature simply joining the ceremony guided by the Odin himself. Some experiences really don't need to be explained immediately. Sometimes it is enough to witness them. And runes themselves carry very personal meaning in its journey. They originate as the ancient alphabets of Germanic peoples, but across time they became much more than letters, symbols surrounded by mythology, divination, magic, and contemplation. Runes you can find them all over the world, Canada, USA, in every single country. It is universal tool. For me, runes are one of the most powerful guiding tools available on earth. I live the runes. Coming from Northern Europe, where it's being said Freya, goddess, shed her tears along the Baltic Sea in the form of amber. So runes are very special to my heart. Runes, as I mentioned, are living energy and frequency carrying both light and shadow, like the entire creation. It is simple, ancient, and direct, a kind of free oracle of the forest and nature. A stone, a branch, a piece of wood, almost anything from nature can become their language. Some time ago, during one of my shamanic ayahuasca ceremonies, Father Odin appeared in my experience with a message. That encounter changed my relationship with the runes. Since then, they have become part of everyday guidance and spiritual practice, and eventually this path expanded into teaching runic courses and sharing their wisdom with others. So perhaps it was not surprising that high upon Mount Shasta, surrounded by stones, sky, the sun, the language that wanted to appear was the language of ancient symbols of runes. The first rune came Dagaz, enlightenment, enlightenment itself. Dagaz is the dawn, the instant when night becomes day, the threshold, a breakthrough, a change in consciousness, and something previously hidden suddenly becomes visible. For this formula, the Dagaz represented enlightenment itself, the awakening. Then came rune Sowilo, the sun. If Dagaz is awakening, Sowilo became the force illuminating the path toward it. The sun, clarity, vitality, the direction, the light by which the path can finally be seen. Then born Othala, returning home. And where does the path ultimately lead us? Home. Not necessarily to a place on a map. Home into the sacred heart. Home into remembrance. Home into the deepest part of ourselves that existed before all the roles, expectations, and identities accumulated around it. After searching outward for so long, perhaps one of the greatest revelations is discovering that the destination was always inwards. And finally, Algiz rune born, a sacred connection. Its shape rises like branches toward the heavens. For this creation, Algiz became the bridge between the human and the sacred, connection with the Creator and creation itself, connection with the mountain, connection with earth and the sky, connection with the unseen intelligence of life. And the formula was complete. Algiz, Sowilo, Dagaz, Othala, connecting with sacred, walking toward the light, awakening and returning home. Every stone, every branch had been gathered and placed with intention from the sacred space of the heart. Then came the activation, using a sacred pendulum. Each line and branch of the rune was slowly traced, while a surge of strong energy, luminous cosmic stream descending from above, entering the stones, flowing through each symbol and connecting the four runes into one energetic structure. Algiz, Sowilo, Dagaz, Othala, and finally the entire formula. By earth beneath and light above, by the sun and the sacred heart, may awakening arise where awakening is ready. May the path be illuminated. May every heart remember its way home. May the bridge to the sacred remain open. May this intention serve only the highest good of all who resonate with it. So be it, and so it is. And there it was, a runic formula resting upon the volcanic stones of Mount Shasta, overseeing the blue horizons, created not to claim the mountain, not to impose anything upon it, but as an offering of intention, love, and compassion for those who may someday pass through this sacred place and feel something resonate with them, to connect, to remember, to rise in consciousness, to enlighten the path within. How long it will remain there? Perhaps hours, perhaps days, perhaps months, or perhaps the wind will remove a rock tomorrow. Snow will eventually cover the stones, and another traveler may unknowingly change the formation. And that's beautiful too, because nothing placed in nature truly belongs to us. The mountain receives it, transforms it, and eventually takes it back. The real formula was never meant to live permanently in stone anyway. Dagaz must happen within consciousness. Sowilo, the sun, must become the light we choose to follow. Othala must become the remembrance of home. Algiz must become the living connection between the human heart and sacred when we raise the hands into the heavens. The stones simply carried the message for a moment. The raven carried it through the sound and frequency. The sun carried it through the light. And three soul sisters carried it through intention. Perhaps one day another traveler will come upon these symbols and know exactly what they mean. Perhaps someone will see nothing more than stones and branches of the symbols aligned, both are perfect, because sacred symbols do not need to speak to everyone. They wait for those who recognize their language in their heart. And maybe that is part of enlightenment itself, not acquiring something we never had, but remembering something ancient within us that we had temporarily forgotten. High upon the Shasta, a prayer was written without paper or ink, only stone, sunlight, raven song, and intention from the sacred hearts. May it reach only those for whom it was meant. From the sacred heart with love. See you at the next mystical place of Mount Shasta.